Hello everyone, this is Serious Trivia. Welcome back to another faction preview video for the upcoming DLC, The Furious Wild for Total War 3 Kingdoms. We'll be continuing today with Lady Zhurong, and Lady Zhurong is Goddess of Fire in the game, and her playstyle is very unique as she has a time expansion mechanic that deals with her fire goddess figure. Now she's called the Goddess of Fire in game because her name, Jurong, is actually the same characters as the Chinese god of fire, and in the Romance of Three Kingdoms it says that her clan descends from that god, which is around 5,000 years ago, so it's a very mythical figure in Chinese folklore, and she hails from the same line that descends from him. Now of course she's very fictional and a character that's only featured heavily in the Romance of Three Kingdoms, which, as we all know by now, is a historical fiction, but it still makes her a very lovely character to have in the game. Her starting situation is normal, and she has the Goddess of Fire mechanic. Its cycle of expansion, we'll take a look at all the cycles and how this works once we jump into game, it's easier to explain there. And Power of the Fire Gods, we have some very interesting units that features fire, and some bonuses that deal with fire. We also have access to a unique chanting fire army stance, so we have a very different stance for our armies. We'll check this out in game and see what the bonuses are. And for her reforms, she will have faster access for military reform. This means slightly faster research time for them, as well as the access to tier 2 military reforms from the get-go before you have to unite the tribe. But this does mean that we won't have access to tier 2 economic reforms, and we won't have access to tier 2 political reforms. And of the three fields, I believe military is actually the weakest, because buildings help your economy greatly. Now of course you could just run a looting mechanic, as in you just take post-battle loot for most of your economy and you can ignore some of the higher tier buildings, which is fine. But the political reform, I believe, are actually the best ones, because it opens up the option for you to deal with non-Nanman factions, which is pretty essential since you'll be going to war with pretty much all the Nanman factions, and that limits your trade options. Now we do have some very cool unique features in terms of units. We have Follower of the Flame. These are basically mace wielding units that are lighting their maces on fire. So they do splash damage because they have a polearm two-handed mace, and the mace itself is on fire, so there is going to be sustained fire damage. So the longer you have these in battle, the more damage they will do. The fact that the damage is splash and will also burn the enemy also make them very strong. And then we have two variations of Tiger Tamers. So we have Tiger Warriors here, where the Tamers themselves are using dual axe. And for Tiger units, you're actually releasing your Tiger, and you won't actually have control of them. Whatever unit is closest to the Tiger will dash towards them until they die, and then you have a unit of Axe Warriors left. And here in Tiger Slingers, we have the same Tiger, but the unit themselves are Slinger units. So that's the key difference between the two. We Fealty of the Fire People, we won't be giving this up to anyone, so this doesn't really apply much. And we have Trailblazer, military assignment that's unique to us. It gives us campaign movement range in the own commandery, extra military supplies, which is quite nice in the southern jungles. And we also get oil as a pre-battle deployable because we love fire so much. And before we jump into the 190 star, which we will be showcasing for most part of this preview, before jumping in at the end just to take a look at what the 194 star looks like, we'll be taking a look at our character herself. So Lady Zhurong has Intimidation, very good fire skill. Here we have 12 points of Instinct, enables immune to scaring, Fury, +2 Resolve, +6 Instinct, extra charge speed, and Brave, 12 points of Resolve. So these are all very high statted traits, and also +3 Morale when commanding. We also have 10% chance to capture enemy officers, which is always welcomed. So perhaps we can capture ourselves a future husband in Meng Huo who is very prone to getting captured. We also get +10% melee damage faction-wide. And just for a little bit of character background, Lady Zhurong believes that only through her might, inherited, they say, from the Goddess of Fire herself, will her people succeed where others have floundered. The pride of her lineage weighs heavily upon her, but Jurong does not let such responsibilities overwhelm her. She sees the languorous and bloated valleys kings and vow not to grow as indolent. Her followers, loyal to the death, combined with her own skill, will protect her lands and her people against the very gods if need be. So one thing I do have a problem is Jurong is a god, a male god. So I don't know why they're referring to Goddess of Fire herself. Maybe to ourselves. And before we jump in, we're playing this once again on Legendary 40 minutes and showcasing the map a bit before we jump in. We do have the advantage of starting out in the corner of the new Southwest expansion, and we can kind of secure a flank before moving on against the other tribe, whereas Menghuo, who we already showcased, starts out kind of in the middle. So as you expand, there's going to be enemies in all directions. For us, we can control that a bit better. So let's jump in and unite the tribes.
祝融夫人，天下将乱，而部族似乎安于隔岸观火。必须将大汉驱逐出你的土地，但势必要让部族团结起来。其他的族长对此渴望已久，不能再无所作为了。您必须于无为之地行动起来。先从云南部落开始。 夺取他们的土地将为您的扩张之路提供巨大的便利。有些部落首领会见使加入，而有些可能需要使用一些武力来说服。如孟获这般有勇有谋之人，可为劲敌，亦可为强力的盟友。您与他不为友，便为敌。 祝融夫人，部族统一之路不易，然您身负火神意志，所有部族必将团结在您炽热的火焰之下。
Alrighty, and we're the queen of the Nanman. Jurong, you are thrust onto a stage not of your making, yet you must make it your own all the same. The world is in chaos, and your contemporaries, for the most part, are content to do nothing. If the tribes are to be united and a power restored to these parts, then let it be your power. You are descended from gods, Jurong. Now is your time to ascend. So once again, we want to unite all the tribes. Menghuo could be a powerful friend or a most terrifying enemy. Time your expansions with active wildfire seasons to maximize your offensive power. So, our first mission is to destroy or vassalize the falling faction, the Yunnan tribes which are in front of us. And before we do anything, we have to kind of learn our faction mechanics. So this showcase, we'll be spending a lot of time looking at how she's played, because there are some key mechanics here. So Goddess of Fire, as we can see here, has a point value that goes from 0 to 18. We're currently at 10 points, and we get 3 points increase next turn from season. Right now it's harvest season. So if we click on this button here, we can learn more about how this is used. So currently we are in harvest. We'll gain 3 points in this season. And if we activate, as in ignite this fire, we can only activate when the bar is full. Once we activate, we'll start burning our bar. We'll be using up all the fire points we've been saving, and the effect that we'll get depends on which season we activate such a fire. And that's kind of the time expansion part of her playstyle, because each of these offers something very different. For example, if right now we have a full bar and we activate it, we'll be giving our army 75% armor piercing damage as well as melee damage, so just a huge increase in damage. Minus 50 points of melee evasion, which means we are going to be very vulnerable. And then we get some income, and then it will decrease 4 per turn until it burns out. And I believe we can stop it earlier as well. And then once it stops or burns out, there'll be a period of cooldown when you can't activate anything or gain anything, and you have a debuff on you, and that's going to make you a little bit weak. And you can check out all of these here. So this is the faction uniqueness, we get extra 25% research rate for military, and we also have access to tier 2 military reforms before uniting the tribe. And as you can see, as we move on through the seasons, harvest is starting to wane already from summer. Summer is the peak of fire. So spring is 4 points, summer is 5 points, harvest is 3 points, then drops to 2, and finally only 1 point in winter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all available. And the bonuses for harvest is all sorts of attack, but there is some penalties. If we move into autumn, construction cost discount. So these bonuses doesn't necessarily have to be military based. Sometimes it can be construction based for your economy. You get 50% armor piercing damage, crippling blow on your generals, I assume. This is a good armor debuff to units around you. And then 30% charge bonus for all units. And then if we're on during winter, we get a diplomatic bonus with all factions. 30 points of melee evasion, 2 towers deployable before battle, and 50% range firing rate. So this is not completely useless just because you see a diplomatic relationship. You still get 50% range fire rate. Towers are nice. Melee evasion 30 point is actually pretty big. And then during spring, we'll lose 10 points of melee evasion. We'll muster up troop quickly, and we'll gain stock on our units, as well as 40% melee attack rate. So the trade-off here seems pretty interesting. The increased attack rate, a small decrease to melee evasion, and helps you recruit things a bit faster. Stock also allows you to hide in all terrains. And then finally summer. During peak fire season, we get 50% damage, so it's a little less than harvest, but there's no penalty. We get 8 points of public order in our settlements, as well as 50% battle running speed. So that kind of sums up our bonuses here for our Goddess of Fire, and we can just watch it slowly go up. Now there's other bonuses when you're in certain tiers. So when you're at the second tier, growing a flame, you get -2 morale for defending enemy force, so you kind of debuff enemy morale, and this goes up to 4. There's not a huge bonus for you to lose, but it's a nice thing to have while you have the points and they're not maxed out, or you're waiting for a nice season to start that wildfire in your heart. Our faction is quite interesting. We have Dailai Dongzhu, who is our younger brother, and his name is something I complained about to CA, and hopefully he gets changed, because Dongzhu here means cave lord. So he has an administrative position as part of his name, when in fact he's only referred to as Dailai in the Romance of Three Kingdoms. He has a lot of crazy ideas, in a sense. He kind of found help for Meng Huo at the very end, and he can thank kings like Wu Tugu and Mu Lu to come to Meng Huo's aid because Dailai suggested that. And Dailai is actually a very strong character in the game. We're just here to see the family tree, but the best place to check out the character is actually outside here. He starts out with a unique weapon, and it's a new unique weapon. It's the Burning Mace. 20 base attack rate, and most of the damage, or actually all of the damage, is on armor piercing, 2.2k armor piercing. And this is a grand version of the fire mace that the followers of Flame, your unique unit, carries. And then you have a unique armor that's 12 points on cunning. This one gives instinct, and the key thing is it does 15 morale debuff as well as 50% melee evasion, and there's a damage over time. Very strong weapon. Now his armor gives him extra cunning, and that kind of suggests he should be perhaps an archer build. And then if we look over here, we also see Brent as a trait, so definitely an archer build. Superstition, this will trigger some interesting events for us, and Fury once again for some extra damage. And if you look on the background, the Cunning Youth, the tier 1 background, also gives 20 points of cunning. So once again, reinforce the fact that we should probably be range general. Lady Zhurong, on the other hand, we already seen the traits. Irresistible Fire, we already seen already. She has a Flying Dagger ability, and that corresponds to another story in Romance of Three Kingdoms when she carries these 5 daggers in the back that she uses to help her fight. Very accurate with these, and we get a unique item, the Flying Daggers. 10 points to instinct, 10% melee damage. Quite nice. You don't need these to have the Throwing Dagger ability, you can always have that one. You also have Power of Love. This is another reason why we should try to get Meng Huo into our faction. As you can see, lots of instinct and authority on her stat boost, so take it easy when you're adding points. In case it goes over past 200, then we'd be wasting. You also get 5% melee damage for all tiger unit, which is quite nice. The first thing I'm going to do, however, is actually swap some of these weapons around because I want Dai Lai to be giving this awesome weapon to Lady Zhurong. Now, of course, we don't have to do this. Oh, is it locked? Oh, wow. Okay. So it's locked on him, like the armor. That's very interesting. So Dai Lai will be our burning general who commands the range. And we have a third general here, of course, Sneaky Chief. We haven't seen the chief background, but it does unlock a assignment. So this is what we meant by you need to have actually a assignment statement on the background for you to have that assignment. And this will be the only assignment this character could do. Now, of course, she could potentially be able to do the assignment that's faction unique to us in the Trailblazer, which, as we can see, is definitely possible. We get extra campaign movement range for adjacent counties as well. This is very good. I think we should definitely do this. Just to give her something to do so that we don't have to fire everyone, which I'm always tempted to do. Give him some extra instinct if we can't get rid of the weapon. Might as well give him this. This is part of the items we rolled. You don't always start out with this. The Stone Pig, it's shared between all the factions. I think that's been a trend since A World Betrayed was dropped. Now, that's enough talking. I think we checked out all the faction mechanic. We will play normally and grab ourselves a trade agreement, but sadly, the Yongchang tribe is one that we want to wipe out, so not much to do there. So there goes diplomacy. We will, however, start our reform. As you can see, we have earlier access to the military ones compared to the diplomacy as well as the economy, which has the tier 2 already locked. So here we can go all the way up to tier 3, and then we just have to unite the tribes a little faster if we want them. Alright, so that's going, and we have our items. We don't have very big diplomatic dealings. We're just gonna go wipe out the Yunnan tribe here. As you can see, we start out with some lovely Tiger Slinger units, which we'll showcase, as well as our Follower of Flame. So let's go fight these guys.
傲慢的汉人，如恶犬般对我们的家园垂涎3尺，已经多久了？而我们沉寂不语，对人民和家园不闻不问，又有多久了？我不会甘愿如此。 我不愿如其他部落首领一般饱食终日，无所作为。我要全力抗汉，引火神的怒火，烧断汉王朝的野心。
Alrighty, we're loaded up in game, and I've left in the speech pre-battle. You always get a speech the first time you fight with a unique general, and there's a voiceover work for that, and we have shared that for Meng Huo, and we're going to share that with every general going forward for the faction previews. And before we jump in, we can take a look at our tigers. These are the versions without the heavy armor on them, because they're the slinger. They're still strong. And then we have some very standard spearmen with some bamboo sticks, which are very effective. These were used. Bamboo is very tough, and then if you sharpen them, they hurt. We have our Naman warriors. Some of them have clubs, some of them have clubs with stones on the front that looks kind of like an axe, but not really. And some just has like a wooden club. It's all about fashion choices here. And then what other unit do we have? We have our Follower of the Flame. Big fireballs. It just keeps burning. And these guys obviously don't have much armor. But then honestly, none of the Nama units really have heavy armor. And those that do have armor actually are vulnerable to fire. Minus 100% fire resistant. So our unit's going to do a number on all of them. So with that said, I think we'll just head into battle here. We're going to use the tigers mainly as distraction forces. We want to stay in the forest, but we don't know where the enemies are. I'm trying to move them up. We're gonna have to find them in the forest. And by the way, the Flying Dagger, for those of you who don't know yet, are 3 usage ability. Once you use this, you aim your dagger at the enemy, you throw it out. You might miss if they're moving, and once you hit them, if you hit them. 10k damage over 15 seconds. The cooldown is really short for this, 30-second cooldown, so you can actually throw out your daggers pretty quickly. Here we have Southern Wrath. This is a standard Nanma ability. You lower morale and do a little bit of splash damage. Alright, we're going to try to sneak up and throw some daggers at their leader just to showcase that. Where do you think you're going? Get some clear line of sight. And we'll throw the dagger. See how that hit? Now it's going to tick off. They don't have a lot of health anyways, so we just need to hit 2 to win. They're chasing after us, that's fine. Our goal is to actually kill this retinue here, like as cleanly as possible. That way we don't have to fight the garrison fight. You see how it's really fast, honestly. 30 seconds is nothing in this game. And then we try to throw it again. Now ideally you want to be like in the same line as his path, but then these units also get in the way and we don't want to get charged. Feels like he's not. Oh no, he's moving. We gotta be on this side. I doubt we'll hit this. We'll try. He's kind of stuck in the middle of the troops. We missed. Hit the unit though. I think one of the unit will actually. Yeah, one of the units gonna take down 10k health, which is actually still plenty of damage. But if we hit him, he would have been dead. I'm gonna move these guys up. And the cooldown's almost ready again. He's moving straight at us. I think we can hit him. Come on. Got him. He's dead. Now, of course, ideally, you probably don't want to kill him like this. I'm just showcasing the ability. Ideally, what you want to do is actually let him live. That way you can release or capture him for your personal goal quest for Prudence and Shaman, which are both very strong. Alright, their units are losing morale. Our units are hiding behind the forest. I want to use Dailai as well. That flaming mace seems pretty cool. Actually, why don't you go after a range unit for us? And you also go after a range unit for us. Always a good habit to have your general chase after the range. Here's our fire. All these flags. And we're burning people now. Alright. All you gotta do is, if your tiger's in range, just let them go. And they'll go hunt down the nearest unit. And what happens is you'll see a bunch of tigers, hopefully, not just one. Start throwing people apart because they have really high charge. And then they're out of your control. You can't really tell the tigers to do stuff. Now you just command the slinger portion. And then we're gonna burn some armored units and see how well fire does. And then the tiger just go whoever's next nearest. And here we're probably gonna burn these guys pretty quickly. Yep, the morale hit is definitely a huge component. Where did our brother go? Remember how we said we're gonna kill everything? Make sure we try to kill everything. Mainly the generals have to do it. And you can see the tiger is just gonna stay around, chase. They're fast, and they're gonna eat everything nearby. Try to fight these guys. That light is just burning people alive left and right. Well, the horses kill is clean, but like if we slap them, they're pretty much gonna burn. And you can probably still see the tigers. Yep, they're just running around trying to find next targets after they kill off everyone. I want to see if the tiger, like how far is the target acquisition for the tigers? Do we still have tigers? Yeah, we still have tiger chasing these. But they just start doing their own thing. You can't control them. It tells you how many you have left. We lost one apparently. There's 30 to a unit on the large unit size. So So I'm guessing that's 60 on extreme. It's a lot of tigers. And we're just eating people now at this point. Alright, Dalai has chased out a group. Chased another group. And our fire boys are just really good at slapping people around and then causing them to morale shock and die, even though we'll lose plenty of men here too. Have them chase them. Ooh, there's we left 10 go. It's fine. And that's a win. Now we just speed up the rest a little bit. I don't think tigers stay idle. Yeah, they just go find things to kill. They're not just standing here, unless you're dead. And these guys are just slingers now, after the tigers are released. They're just really cool looking slingers with tiger skin. Get the general to kill those. I bet there's a bunch of tigers here. No, where did the tigers go? Here's some bodies. I don't see tigers. Oh, they're gone. Maybe they chased off the map. Interesting. Anyways, let's end. There we go. Now, my verdict on tigers so far, from my limited experience, is that they're not as strong as elephants. They're not the game-breaking type. They're really good for just distracting enemy formations. Just unleash these beasts out from one flank and just mess up the enemy formation a lot. But the problem is you can't control them, and they're pretty fragile. So it's not like you can count on them winning the whole fight for you. They do kill people, but not as much. We'll be taking income. And since we cleaned out most of the garrison, we'll just be taking Qingling over here. And we'll just simply delegate the fight. There we go, one loss. One more Faller Flame drop. And we got an item, and we're gonna confederate the Yunnan tribes. And the Yunnan tribe has fire arrows, so that plays along with our fire theme, and that's why we get to destroy them first. That also means we will pick up a few new characters. We want to own 4 settlements. And here we have the opposite side of the missions that we saw in Meng Huo's story yesterday. So we are now also going to join that joint war with Ah Huinan. Poor guy. Both factions are after him. And we're going to do it, because I feel like it'll be funny if we end up actually seeing Meng Huo offer us a confederate. I'm sure it's definitely possible. I just haven't playtested Jurong enough to know that for sure. Alright, so we're gonna revamp our army. We only picked up 1 general. Newcomer warrior, no items on him as well. A little sad. So he gets expertise in cunning, melee attack on himself, rending strike. So he could be a good duelist. I think we'll just keep him for now. Not a big deal to hold on to him. He just doesn't have great traits. I don't want to lose. So in this case, it's off he goes. Chieftain and Vanguard. I actually haven't seen him Vanguard. Resolve and Instinct. Campaign movement if he's part of the Prime Minister group. 25 charge bonus. Not bad. Vanguard is definitely not bad. And obviously, Place of Festivity. Always the build. We actually have a level 1 crafts workshop. This is artisan, I believe. Yep, so this is the one we want to keep. I tend to keep all the circle ones. Circle ones, in my opinion, are just better. We're going to get rid of these non-unique units, or non-faction unique units. And since Dai Lai is going to develop into Archer, I want to swap units, but we can't recruit on first turn, so I'm just going to delete them. Swap would be way faster though. Maybe we'll wait. I want to try some of those fire arrows, archers. So let's not get that one. And our next target is pretty much Yongchang tribe over here. We could also take down Mangyachang first. That will complete our commandery, give ourselves some extra income from the lumberyard. Yeah, maybe they're next. We can also consider trade with them instead. 1.8. Yangfeng. Let's see. We will probably eventually go to war with them. Ooh, we have a unique armor for the southern tribes. Refined tribal armor. So this is a bronze tier. There's a silver tier one and there's a gold tier one. At least, well, from what I can gather from the game file. I think I can actually find images, so maybe I'll share that with you guys in a video a bit later, just like an image showcase to see all the armor look like. But then again, I don't know if I can actually share pack files before release, so let's scratch that. After release, everything's fair game, but I don't want to break any rules here. We're not going to ask him for item. I'm just going to want some money here at this point. Just a little bit. Just a little bit more. Oh no, 40 is max. Okay, that's fine. That's 400 that we didn't have before. And temporarily peaceful relationship with him while we build up. And that's about it. I think we did everything. I'm not interested in getting a tribal council at this point. What they will do is they will give you, you know, no desire for higher office up to level 3, corruption reduction, not useful right now, trade influence, not that useful right now, and the salary increase is 200 per character. So only save these for key characters that you want to keep who has satisfaction issues. That's kind of what I use them for. Alright, and that's pretty much it for turn 1. Let's continue. Alrighty, so even though we're at war with Ahuinan, we're going to let Meng Huo do the hard work. We're going to take out Yongchang tribe right away. And we're gonna march all the way to here. And as you can see, supplies are difficult in the Nanman land. Terrain takes a pretty big hit on supplies, and this is going to be more of an issue for Han armies as well, because if you're fighting in the Nanman land as the Han army, you'll enter the battle fatigued, and it's going to be fatigue capped, as in you can't actually get out of fatigue by standing there. I think they're trying to represent the harsh climate and the diseases in the area. We're gonna swap. Oh, that is so tempting. Let's get ourselves another tiger units. But do we want this on him? That's the question. I'm gonna first get ourselves 2 fire archers just to play around with them. And we're probably gonna give the tiger to Jurong. Alright, that sounds about right. The tiger is not going to be fully replenished, and that's fine. These are going to just take about a turn, I believe. I think we just come back to it 2 turns. We're just going to wait 1 turn and go fight. There's no point to drag this out. Building still going. Let's continue. Alright. Meng Huo finally got done with the Jianning tribes. He has a farther distance to walk, so he can't take it on turn 1. Let's see if he let go of any of the leaders of that tribe. Okay, so we do have an item here if we want it. Extra cunning could be good for Dai Lai, but I don't really want to spend 1,000 on bureaucrat. Not gonna be super useful for us. We're gonna go attack them. First we'll declare war. Just because we're like deemed savages doesn't mean we have to act like one. And we go attack. Now this is a level 1 settlement, so there's going to be some towers, but we're going to save some time, decisive victory, and just take the victory here. There we go, lost quite a bit of units. We caught one, and I kind of like the strategy of releasing 5 first, just to get the prudence done, and then start recruiting the 15 for shaman. And we'll confederate. And our power increase again. Alright, we got their fealty, which gives us, let's see, 10% income from spice, even though we don't have a spice holding until we take this, but we're trading with them, so we're not gonna wait off on Yangfeng. We have a point in expertise, which is good. It's definitely a good way to go. I don't think we need much Vanguard ability, considering we can get more traits from them probably. So now debate between health and expertise, and if we look at our title, we already have our title changed as we officially hit level 3. our bonuses are now 50 points and 10 points, 20% chance of capture, and we also get an additional ability called Defiant Cry that will hit 15 morale on nearby enemies, 10% melee damage for tiger units. So what should we do? I guess authority is also a valid choice to give our character who is a faction leader some satisfaction boost to keep people happy. But I think I'm going to keep Jurong combat focus, and we're actually going to go with more resolve here for some extra health. Dialight, on the other hand, also leveled up. He wants a lot of expertise in my opinion, and cunning. Probably more expertise right now simply because he got a gold weapon. And then just maybe alternate for a little bit. And we have some more characters, which I believe we've looked at most of them already. We have a new piece of land, place of festivities. Guess we can upgrade this. Yeah, let's upgrade this. And as you notice, we didn't have any missions yet for these reforms. That's because we didn't finish the elephant training. So hopefully we'll get that done. We can see if our missions are any different, which is why I'm kind of hesitant to upgrade to Iron Pits, because that was the mission I had for Meng Huo. We have a new character here. He has also a level up. He's a fresh tamer, so that's really good. Animal upkeep is nice. Yes, he doesn't have any terrible traits. He also has a horse, which are all great things. And he will gain boost to authority and instinct. Since he is in a position where we can get satisfaction out of him and we don't need him to fight much, I'm actually going to give him a lot of authority here. I'm going to get rid of the items on him, just wasting. And I'm going to give him the horse because I think he's not going to ride elephants just because of his unique item. That just doesn't make sense. We have any new followers? We don't. I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. Let's continue here. Alright, and at this point is when we will turn around and go fight Ahuinan, because we have a trade deal with them, and also it's very, very hard to get to Yongchang's spice market, because if you look, there's no road. It's a very slow path towards them. We're not going to go that slow. We're just going to go back to the old commandery here, settlement county. I guess this is the settlement capital. We already have a very unhappy tamer. Yeah, it's going to be very hard to keep people happy. And because I actually do want to keep him long term, I might actually put him on the council. He's also married to her, who we don't have. Or we can wait for a better tamer, because I really don't want to spend that much money at this point in the game. We're just going to let him go. There's plenty of tamers to grab. And plus I don't want to keep his wife or him away from each other, so we'll rejoin her. We'll be fine without you. And I think we're good at this point. Let's continue. Ooh, a trade agreement offer from Maya Chang. It's tempting. We already have one trade. I guess we had two available. He's willing to pay us as well. Let's renegotiate this a little bit. Any chance we can get a return payment on that? It's better, right? 130? I believe we're getting 104 right now. Okay, we'll remember 13 as a number. 106. Okay, so we're gonna renegotiate here for the 13 or 130. Alrighty. And our fire is full, so we can now activate it and burn burn the wildfire we have saved up and use the bonus. We are currently in summer season, so if we do happen to burn it, we'll gain attack, we'll gain public order, we'll gain battle running speed, but we don't gain anything that I think is tangible that can help us, because these just help us win more. And we're already winning, so I don't need to win more. Maybe wait a season, activate here. Extra income sounds nice. Construction cost discount also sounds nice. So there's things we can go for here, but not summer. So we'll skip this for now, even though I think this is our next mission. No, just want to control another settlement. We seem to always start out with a ping. It just shows you how to deal with this. We can also become a beast tamer ourselves. Nice. We're gonna go fight Ah Huinan. We should be strong enough to handle him. Alright, we can get there next turn, which is all we really care about. Let's continue after building something. Upgrade. Let's go. Oh, our boy Meng Huo wants our wooden dog, willing to pay us 35. Well, honey, I'm gonna keep that for now. And you better not marry a generic woman. Alright, now we finished our elephant reform, so we get our reform missions. Iron Pits once again, so that's a very standard one it seems. Beat 3 armies and no 10 factions. So very standard unlocks. I think they're just preset. I'm gonna give her the elephant. Because, you know, no really dominating skill usage here. He's leveling up now, which I'm a little worried. We're getting extra movement right now from her, which is lovely. But I'm just worried she's gonna one day become a bit too unhappy with us. I don't know what I want. So I might not even level up. Well, actually, it's expertise and cunning, chance to ambush. Maybe expertise. Let's go expertise first. Alright, a few more characters, or actually just single one showing up. Let's see, are you any good? That's a negative. Let's go fight and get ourselves a copper mine. Usually our boy delivers it to us in our Meng Huo Let's Play, or faction preview, not Let's Play. We haven't decided which one we're playing yet. There will be a pullout later today actually, and I'll put out the vote for all the new factions, the 5 of them, and we'll pick which one we're gonna play on launch day. Here we're gonna fight this. I'm not taking, you know, Pyrrhic victory here. Alright, this is a mine battle, which does make it difficult, but what makes, you know, mine battles a bit easier is you gotta hide your units. That way the enemy AI can't see you, so they just back off to the capture point because that's what they know they have to defend. And that gives us the option to steal one of these gates. They do have a unit here, but no worries. We are gonna sneak up to the edge of the forest here. The problem is elephant's too slow and will get shot up, so we're gonna use our dear brother here with a fire weapon to go clear ourselves our path, or alternatively, let's test out our fire arrows. Right, we have these. Let's go burn. Alright, we definitely overburned there. Back off a little. That works very well. Let's go in. I want to capture that. I want to send my brother over there. Put our archers over here. Put them right in front. Come on, capture that for us. Oh, we burned the trees down with our awesome weapons. Okay, they're moving down towards us, no rush. And almost getting it. Oh, the civilians leaving. Took more damage than I would like. I captured it. Let's go this way. I think we just unleash these puppies. Oh, they automatically... Did I click them? I don't remember clicking them. I mean, everyone's vulnerable to fire. It doesn't matter if you have shield or not. If you have the armor, you're vulnerable to fire. And we're gonna send these boys in too. Okay, only one of them released. Oh, yeah, we have elephants as well. What are we forgetting here? Charge, and we're also gonna roar on them. Look at that, look at that. Unstoppable. Scare everyone. Fire scares people too. That's insane. 15 points of fire scare, I believe. Or maybe they don't have the 15 point, only the legendary weapon has the 15 points. We can kind of see. Damage sustained, fire is no longer on fire. What about you? Frightened. Well, the elephant effect is another 15, so that's definitely helpful. Being shot by them. And you can see, without controlling the tigers, they're still fighting, but it's slow. They're gonna try to kill like every single unit. It's not like we can send them over here to attack the range, which I would love to do. Hit the back. We're demoralized. Alright. Let's try to not... I mean, it's a garrison fight. They're going to be wiped, so let's just end it. We could just get a few more kills racked up on our general, but during the course of the game, I think getting 900 is not that hard. Especially with the way we play romance mode. Alright, anyhow, let's claim victory. Alrighty. Nice capture. Did our own work. Definitely try to keep the casualty a bit lower. Alright, we finished this mission, got 2,000 treasury, copper added to our treasury. And let's see. Just gain fealty of all Nanman tribe. And we got some extra experience, some extra money. Not enough to push us over another level, but still nice to have. I don't know if we're going to get a weird mission of like giving this up to Meng Huo or not. But just in case, I'm not going to build too much here. And we're just going to wait it out a little bit. We got the butcher. Guess we're just working on it by killing things. Yeah, we just passed the 300 kill point. Anyhow, things are going great. Nothing really to build here for now. And let's continue. Alright, Yang Feng wants our wooden dog as well. Very popular item. Alrighty. Ah Huinan, finally Meng Huo is joining the war. We're almost done with the war, he's joining. Just gotta double check for items and such. And we're just gonna march on down. And fight them next turn. Hopefully. Yep. He is trying to build up, but too little too late. I think we do want to unlock the missions, of course. And this one we're just too shy to build. And right now we have a period of a couple turns which we can't do anything because we don't know enough factions. We don't have the required I don't know. We require resources? Not quite. It just we require time, I guess, because Iron Pit upgrade takes time. We could rush it, but then we'll be poor. Let's be poor. That way we don't have to waste turns here. And let's see. Population growth. Guess that's my call. That's better long term. And since we did rush it, we're gonna upgrade our settlement as well. Even though, what is it? Large town. Okay, so we gotta worry about food. Right now we're at 0 food. We haven't got any food producing counties yet, but we will. Let's continue. All right, Ah Huinan came out to challenge us, even though the AI knows he can't win. So he's just trying to slow us down. We'll try to fight this cleanly. Let's go. All right, not a lot of trees for us to play around with. So we might just go for it. Ooh, got a willing duelist. Always try to take those because you don't get to duel every day here as Nanman, and that's part of your personal goal. And always challenge them on the duel. You get more experience that way. We are down in health by quite a bit, so I want to use my abilities as soon as possible. But if we can just outlast him, we can burn him to death. Charge! Look at that. It's going through. Where's the other guy? Coming through. Excuse me. Trample damage alert. I'm gonna roar. We won! That was fast. I thought it was gonna take forever. That fire mace, very strong. Alright, we eliminated their range. Oh, they have an angry husband in terms of generals. We want to chase units down once again because... Are we on our horse? Yes, we are. Because there's that garrison behind. If they retreat back and heal, then, you know, that's gonna make that difficult. I'm gonna send these boys up. Nice. Just wait till we unleash the tigers. Did we kill everything on here? Man, he kills pretty fast with that fire mace. I gotta watch out for that duel in the future. Let them go. And then we'll fire. Or actually just back off. Let the tiger do their thing. Oh, he killed... Oh no, he lives. Okay. Take him down. Who has the axe? He does. Fight him. Actually, it's not worth it. No point for us to get casualty over this. The tigers are not as dominating as elephants, which just runs over people. Kill these. I'll chase those down. Alright, we don't want to be stuck in between people. We always want to right click on them. But we need to also turn elephant around. Oh, that was a quick turn. Okay, we're just swinging people around. So elephants, I guess, is a... I mean, we need to recruit a couple to know, but I think it's... Everyone can recruit them as long as we have unit capacity. Right now, since it's not our faction unique unit, we don't start out with any elephant capacity. And this little pet elephant's all we have for us. He's still not dead. Do we have tigers after him or just fire? Oh, tigers and fire. And slingers. Alright, he's giving us time to kill his guys, so it's all good. Alright, we won. I kind of want to chase a few more kills, and I also kind of want to know what happened to the tigers. They can't have all died. Well, they clearly don't have them anymore. I don't see any here either, so maybe it's just removed. Now, where are our enemies? Okay, everyone ran off the screen. Okay. Alright, we pretty much wiped them out. Took us a little bit extra time, but it's just to make the next fight easier. We only lost 75. It's not like we dragged it out too long. And we're going to continue to go with the release strategy. Replenishment. One of our unit got knocked out, so it'll take a couple turns to get it back. Now, for those of you who know the old recruitment bug, so there's a recruitment bug from A World Betrayed. It's still there. It's not fixed yet. But, ooh. We got a gift. Lovely. Anyways, as I was saying, there's been a recruitment bug ever since the Bandit faction was revamped, where if your limited unit is knocked out, you can recruit another one because the system doesn't register them as being there. But when you recruit another one and this goes to the next turn, you have 2 when you should have only 1 available. So that's a little cheeky way to get a couple extra animals if you're playing as the Southern Tribes, or if you're totally against exploits of any kind, just don't use it. And I'm sure in the future they will fix it as well. So here we are once again, and I just want more health on her. And for Dailai here, we're committed to the water path here for cunning. We did level up to Brother of Flames, so we get 30 cunning now. Another ability, Defiant Cry, morale hit. So we got a lot of morale hit. I guess we will go cunning. Why not? Alright, and we're not really interested in recruiting any generals. She's starting to get unhappy with us, as will be the trend, unless we get ourselves a concubine or a philosopher, legalist fanatic. We got it. Oh my god. So this is what happens when, you know, the boyfriend buys the clothes. Not only do they get the gender wrong, they give us something that none of us could wear. Very nice. Very nice. I don't know what to say, but we're gonna wipe out Huinnan here. And this will probably just be a delegate fight. Yep. And this is gonna be probably the end of our 190 showcase. We didn't end up using the fire ability, or wildfire. I didn't feel like we need to. We're currently a winter. We fought 3 fights, military breakthrough. We can't activate for this. Once again, I don't see a point. I think early on, maybe this one might be the best one, just to get that construction cost discount. But then again, I favor running up economy first in most of my Let's Play, so that's preference. You can definitely play around with this. This is very flexible and quite interesting actually. And you can pretty much just activate anytime, burns 4 per turn, you have 18 points, it will take 5 turns to burn out, or you can stop it here with a button and you go down to go into cooldown a bit earlier. And that's pretty much it. You can see you'll be getting a lot of missions from Meng Huo as you are playing the other side of this love affair. And we're going to be jumping into 194 just to see how that start is different from this one. So see you guys there.
祝融夫人，汉帝国正陷入大乱，此时正是您行动的绝佳时机。部落的首领们已经浪费了太多时间，您必须把该做的，同时也是之前他们拒绝做的事情做了。阿慧南心怀反意，他的实力着实令人担忧。他对您的蔑视之心由来已久，必使他拱手来降。孟获也正与阿慧南交战。 只要人们以您为尊，共同抗敌，就无人可以反抗。若同心同德，人心涣散的各部族就有可能重归一体，再塑一个统一强盛的部落。祝融夫人，我们的目标远大可期，然而却任重道远。天下战火将起，愿夫人您 成为引火之人。
Alrighty, so we're picking things up pretty similar to the 190 start. We start out a little bit ahead. We pretty much have Yunnan conquered, and we're still at the war with Huinnan, who we just destroyed. And Meng Huo is going to jump into that war too, and you guys can work together from there. We also start out with 10 points of Goddess of Fire. The season is harvest season, which is the same, which means we'll get 5 more points, and by next spring we'll have enough for usage, and we can kind of decide how we want to use our Wildfire or Goddess of Fire ability. Our army composition is about the same, exact same army composition. We start out with a bit higher level. It's still showcasing our level 1 title, but once we level up, it will bump it to the level that we should be on at level 3. They just want to show you that in game so you can feel the progression. That ally is still pretty amazing. Same weapon, that's lock on him apparently. And he still starts level 1, so what have he been doing for the 4 years? We still have Shuobo, still the sneaky chief, nothing really changed here. And then we also start out with a new character here who is a coin master. So if you use a coin master as a cave lord or administrator, you get 15% extra from commerce. So 藏科 really need one of these. And you can also use the assignment of organized guerrilla, which we'll also take a look. This is something new. And organized guerrilla gives 15% attrition to all hostile forces inside your own local commandery. And for those of you who are curious, we'll try to showcase these as much as we can. Counter espionage is 10-point cover cost for enemy spies. And Lady Zhurong doesn't have any, and Dalai doesn't have any. So that's pretty much it. If you look on the map, you pretty much start out with one extra county, and you're looking to conquer Ahuinan in the same fashion that you did in the 190 start. So personally, I prefer the 190 start for all these factions. You also see other factions expanding out. So previously we took down the Yongchang tribe. Here, Yangfeng already done that, and we're probably gonna go into a war with them a lot quicker. And back to what I was saying, the 190 versus 194. The 194 doesn't offer very much. There's a lot of bad things for starting in 194. Perhaps the AI has picked a wrong level up, build that you don't like. Because you wanted to have more expertise, but then in this case the AI actually gave us more expertise. So let's say I wanted more resolve, which I did. I added a bunch of resolve, but the AI gave us more expertise. You have no control over that, and you're not actually progressing any farther in the game, and the reform also starts afresh. And for other factions, especially the one we're going to be showcasing tomorrow in Shamoke, it's actually really bad to start in 194. Because the number of tribes that are on the map is greatly reduced. So you still see the total fealty, but the tribe number is not this 19, because a lot of them already got wiped. Yunnan tribe's no more, and the Yongchang tribe is no more. A bunch of tribes are dead. You can see the symbol right here. So they're gone. Someone has their fealty, we have to go grab it. So that's going to wrap up officially the faction preview for Jurong, and hopefully you guys get to enjoy her. She has a very cool character build, good skill, and finally, a welcome addition to the female general rosters in this game. So, see you guys tomorrow when we cover Shamoke. Until then, bye!